That was the only thing they could have done with LA Knight and Nakamura. Because, hey, if he'd have won, what for LA Knight then? Now he's got to have another opponent. And if, Nakamura, he lost, what's for him? Where he got to go? And they did it. They did it right. And so let's see where it leads. I'm not really excited about the match because I don't think they have good chemistry together, but we'll see.
Diving into a couple of these matches on the program here real quick because we are a little short on time today. LA Knight dropped the United States Championship to Shinsuke Nakamura. LA Knight had the belt for about 3 months or so. Won it at SummerSlam. Beat Logan Paul for the title. He ended up defending it about 7 or 8 times, maybe 9. Couple of them against Santos Escobar. Beat Berto on an episode. I think beat Andrade, beat Carmelo Hayes. Just maybe, there was a program that was going to be built for him with AJ Styles upon AJ's return, and then he immediately gets hurt in that match with Carmelo Hayes. But after 3 months, and maybe it's due to a lack of challengers, a lack of story, I'm not sure what it was, the run had kind of gotten a little stale and needed a shot in the arm. And I'm of the belief that this is exactly the shot in the arm for LA Knight that he needed. He needs some depth. He needed some nuance to the title run. And just because he lost the belt doesn't mean that he's not going to get it back. I think this is just the first step of a small rebuild here for LA Knight.
You think you know all the wrestling stories? There's more you haven't heard yet. Join us on Backstage Pass.
I personally, SP3, loved the storytelling of this match in and of itself, where Shinsuke Nakamura comes in. He immediately is in LA Knight's head. The brash, the bravado, the confidence, it seemed to kind of wash away the second that Shinsuke Nakamura showed up in LA Knight's life. And you could see that throughout this match this past Saturday. And I think Corey Graves and Michael Cole really effectively leaned into that on commentary. Anytime that LA Knight had the slightest little slip up, dropped the United States Championship in the opening, maybe had that one little slip on the springboard up to the top rope, they would really lean into the fact that Shinsuke's in his head and he's not in his right state of mind right now. And then the second that he got planted on the metal piece in between the two rings, that match was over. Shinsuke Nakamura took his time, hit the Kinshasa to the back of his head, and he won the United States Championship. I think this was the right move on 2 fronts. LA Knight needed a little bit of a change of direction, an actual honest-to-goodness storyline for himself, which he has not had since he won the United States title. And they could not bring back Shinsuke Nakamura with the new character, the new look, the new presentation, the new music, all of this, and then immediately have him lose to LA Knight. They could not do it. I think they made the right call on both fronts.
They had to. This was the only outcome they had to book when they made this matchup. You can't have Nakamura come back 2 weeks ago with a whole new repackaging and have him lose immediately. You would kill him. He would be dead on arrival, basically. So you can't.
Hey,
you
that's
can't
my
do
word.
That.
That's my word.
You can't do that. And this is the only way this whole program can continue is Nakamura getting the win here. So it was the right decision. I like the story that they told, and I thought LA Knight did an excellent job of looking a little bit off and in his head with the mess ups and stuff like that without looking completely sloppy. It's a thin line that he had to kind of walk, and he walked it well. So I think he did a good job there. But I think the match was nothing more than a TV match on a PLE. I think this was probably the worst match on the show. But I'm not gonna hold that against them because it was effective in what it was trying to accomplish.
Worse than the women's War Games match?
Worse than the women's War Games match, not worse than the first 27 minutes of the women's War Games.
Okay, fair enough. Overall, I got you.
Yeah, that was the only thing they could have done with LA Knight and Nakamura. Because, hey, if he'd have won, what for LA Knight then? Now he's got to have another opponent. And if, Nakamura, he lost, what's for him? Where he got to go?
They did it.
They did it right, and so let's see where it leads. I'm not really excited about the match because I don't think they have good chemistry together, but we'll see.
Well, SP3, you kind of brought this up, prior to the match. They have 2 different styles that don't really mesh with one another.
No, and Nakamura hasn't been like lighting the world up with his in-ring work over the past couple of years. He's kind of on the back end of his career. And LA Knight, he throws in a little bit more athleticism and he uses his agility a little bit more, but he has more of a standard walk-in brawl attitude era style to him.
Yeah.
So when you get someone who is on the back end of a very much strong style, Japanese style, and someone who's on the back end of a very attitude era 90s style, I don't see how that can mesh too well. So I didn't expect them to light the world on fire. They didn't. So I was not surprised.
Yeah. I do like because Shinsuke Nakamura, pre-Bell would always light the world on fire with his entrance and his high energy and everything like that. And then the matches wouldn't necessarily, match that same kind of tempo that he would have. I think his new presentation matches the kind of bell-to-bell action that he's going to be able to deliver, where he's more methodical, a little bit slower, and relies on his heavy strikes. I think this whole presentation is going to work for him, even if it doesn't necessarily match well up with LA Knight.